على بصيرة ولا فيه على رغبة يصدر إلى تقدير وتوقيت وتعيين أوضاع وهيئات يجعلها العمدة في المطالبة والمؤاخذة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين. So Hazratul Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, he has written this chapter, and as you know that the heading of the chapter is أن أصل الدين واحد والشرائع والمناهج مختلفة. That asli deen, the originally deen is one and the same since the time of Adam up to the time of Muhammad alayhi salawatu wa taslimat. But the rules and the ahkam, the shara'i' and manahij, these are different in different time. And why these are different? So I have given you the three reasons. Because the time of all these messengers, times were different. Number two, their area was different. And number three, the nature of people were different. And what is the purpose of deen and the purpose of sharia? The purpose of deen is to connect people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the purpose of sharia is to make it easy for them how to practice. So that's why three things have been taken into consideration. Number one, the time. Number two, the place. Number three, the nature of the people concerned. Got it? So the basic concept was there. For example, prayer. So the prayer concept was there in the time of all these messengers. But how many time? How many rakat? These are different. Yes, fasting. The basic concept of fasting is from Adam up to Muhammad alayhi salawatu wa taslimat in the deen of every messenger. But when? For how many days? Depend on time. Got it? The zakat or the charity, that was there in the deen of every messenger. But how much? Proportionally. What percentage? From what and what? These are different. And these are called لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شَرِيعَةً وَشِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says regarding deen, شَرَعَ لَكُم مِّنَ الدِّينِ مَا وَصَّى بِهِ نُوحًا وَالَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ وَمَا وَصَّيْنَا بِهِ مُوسَى وَعِيسَى نَقِيمُ الدِّينِ وَلَا تَتَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we have given you the same deen which we had given to Nuh, to Musa, to Ibrahim, and to Isa alayhi salawatu wa taslimat. Four famous messenger Allah mentioned there. It doesn't mean that we have the same deen of only these four messengers. No, all the messengers, they had one and the same deen. But لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. Then for every ummah, we have given a different shir'at and a different minhaj. A different shir'at mean a different sharia and different type of rules. So then Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, after that, he is giving us visible example, تَقْرِيبًا إِلَىٰ عُقُولِنَا, to bring it very close to our intellectual approach. To bring it very close to our intellectual approach. So, for example, he gave us the first example that have you seen the tabib, the herbal medicine tabib and doctor, that the patients are coming to him. So number one, he is holding his nabz, his pulse, and therefrom he finds out that what's going on inside his body. But the next thing he is asking him, that what are you doing for your livelihood? So he is giving him money, that's why he is asking him? No, he is asking him that what condition he is living. Because if I will say that I am a basgar, I am a farmer, so it means that I am working in scorching heat. Number one. Number two, I am working there in mud. Number three, I am working there with dairy, with the cows, with the goats, with this and that and that and that. Yes, if somebody will say that I am working in such and such department, what's your position? I am this. So therefrom, he is taking the idea, because all these things are these are actually the causes for that sickness as well. It has its own contribution in that sickness. Yes, and he asked him, where you are living? So if he say, oh, I came from Mojave Desert. Where from? From Mojave. What's the temperature there? Oh my God. Yes, he is taking into consideration the temperature also. What type of water is available there? He is taking into consideration what type of food is available there. He is taking into consideration all these things. So Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, he says that, have you seen that doctor? That actually he is doctor. He is what? He is treating the maris. And he is giving the medicine. He is giving the medicine. But different maris, even though sickness is one and the same. But keeping into consideration the area he is living, the food he is eating, the job he is doing. And thus, he prescribed for him a medicine, yes, to a specific limit. That you have to take this medicine 3 times a day, this much. And number 2, you have not to eat this food and this food. And number 3, you have to stop your working in dairy for those many days. Got it? But another one who came there, so he gives him the same medicine, but then he is not restricting for him a specific food which he restricted for that guy. Because that's a combination. Based on combination, he is giving these advices. So Imam Rahmatullah alayh, he is teaching us and telling us that's the case, that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given different sharia to different people in different time, even though deen is one and the same. So Imam Rahmatullah alayh, he gave us another example that do you know the position of that king or ruler of a specific state, that who is ruling the state? So he is taking into consideration all the situation of state, that how much agricultural land the state has, how much is the total production of the state, how much are the expenses of the farmers on this agricultural land, what type of seed they need and what type of dairies they need and what type of this and this manure and so on they do need. So all these things are taken into consideration. Then to protect and defend the country, he is thinking of, for internal, how many police should we have to keep or to maintain the law and order? And for boundaries, how many soldiers do we need to defend them from this side and from this side? Yes. And number 3, what should be given to the police inside the country and to the army standing there on the boundaries? Got it? Yeah. So he is calculating all these things, that this much is my income, this much I have to subsidize the rates for the farmers so they will work wholeheartedly, and thus our production will go up, and this much should be given per month to a police constable or police officer, and to a soldier or to a general or colonel, and to a doctor and engineer, and so on. So Imam Rahmatullah alayh says, but if you will cross over the boundary to another state where the situation is different, so there you will find that he is giving more subsidy to the farmers there, or his salary is much more bigger than the salary of this state. So Imam Rahmatullah say, this is police and that is police also. These are soldiers and they are soldiers as well. These are farmers and they are farmers. He said, depend on the situation they are living therein. So same is the case of Shariah, that wal manahij wa Shariah mukhtalifa, that when deen is one and the same. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given different Sharia and different rules and ahkam to different messengers. So now Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, he is giving a third example. وَتَأَمَّلْ حَالَ مُعَلِّمِ السِّبْيَانِ بِالنِّسْبَةِ إِلَى سِبْيَانِ, that look at the situation of the teacher of small kids. Teacher of small kids, بالنسبة إلى سبيانه, in relation to his kids. والسيد بالنسبة إلى غلمانه, and look at the master in relation to his slaves. يريد هذا تعليمهم, this teacher is trying to give ta'aleem to the kids. وذلك كفاية الحاجة المقصودة بأيديهم, and that is something which is good for them and that is meant and that is needed. وَهُمْ لَا يَعْرِفُونَ حَقِيقَةَ الْمَصْلَحَةِ, but neither the kids, they know that this is for our good. And that's why if the kid one day he is not going to school, he is happy and he is jumping, because he does not know that this is for my maslahah to go to the school. Got it? If you will tell him that today we are going to Six Flags, yes, Yes, that's a school day, but you told them that today we will go to Six Flags, so he will be jumping. He is becoming happy. Otherwise, good for him to go to the school. Got it? وَهُمْ لَا يَعْرِفُونَ حَقِيقَةَ الْمَصْلَحَةِ وَلَا يَرْغَبُونَ فِي إِقَامَتِهَا. And they don't have any raghbat and any attraction to have it. وَيَتَسَلُّلُونَ وَيَعْتَذِرُونَ. And sulul, look at me. When you are bringing out from the case the knife or the sword, that's called tasallul. That's called what? Tasallul. Slipping. What? Slipping. وَيَتَسَلَّلُونَ. And they are slipping not to go to school. وَيَعْتَذِرُونَ. And they are excusing, no, I am not feeling good. Oh, my son, yes, hurry up. Yes, we are getting late. No, my headache. Yes. Headache is such a thing that you do not have any utensil to test it. Yes. Yes, Mawla Ahmad or not? Yes. وَيَعْتَذِرُونَ وَيَحْتَالُونَ. And they are making hilas, excuses. كيف يعرفان مظنة الصلمة قبل وقوعها. And so how this Muallim al-Sibyan or this Sayyid, how they know مظنة الصلمة. Sulma is actually a bad dart. Sulma is what? A bad dart. Yes, like the dart of zakham and injury. That how they know the place of that sulma قبل وقوعها, before it's happening. فيصدان الخلل. So they are, yes, they are closing that area before. They are not giving them that access. وَلَا يُخَاطِبَانِهِمْ إِلَّا بِطَرِيقَةٍ. And they are not addressing, the teacher is not addressing the small kids, and the Sayyid or the master, he is not addressing his slaves, إِلَّا بِطَرِيقَةٍ, but with such a way, لَيْلُهَا نَهَارُهَا وَنَهَارُهَا لَيْلُهَا. لَيْلُهَا كَنَهَارِهَا وَنَهَارُهَا كَلَيْلِهَا. It means in black and white. Very clear. What? That everything clear. لا يجدون منها حيلة. So they may not have an excuse. ولا يتمكنون من تسلل. And they may not have any exit to get out and to slip. وهي تفضي إلى المقصود, and that will take them to the مقصود and to the main thing. من حيث يعلمون أو لا يعلمون. They know it or they do not know it. وبالجملة, and in brief. بالجملة mean? In brief. فكل من تولى لإصلاح جم غفير مختلفة استعدادهم. That whosoever who became wali, tawalla, bimana tawalla al-amra, that whosoever who became the wali al-amr are the responsible li-islah jammin ghafirin, for the islah and reformation are a big crowd, mukhtalifatin isti'adaduhum, whose talent or capability is different from one another. Walaysu min al-amri ala basira, and they do not know anything about that affair. ولا فيه على رغبة, nor they have any attraction to that. يستر إلى تقدير. So now the one who is responsible, the waliul amr, so he is in need of إلى تقدير, to mean to fix an amount of thing, to fix an amount of thing. وتوقيت, and to fix a time for that. وتعيين أوزاع وهيئات, and to have different shapes and to prescribe different shapes for that. يجعلها العمدة في المطالبة والمواخذة, which will make it much more عمدة من أعلى, which will make it excellent في المطالبة, to ask them for that to do it, والمواخذة, and if they will not do that, they would be seized for. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. So that is enough for tonight, or should we little bit? Yes, little bit is good.